An unusually warm spell of weather in Vancouver has hampered the start of the 2010 Winter Olympics. At one point, organisers were forced to fly in snow by helicopter to cover the ski runs. But it's not the only problem Vancouver is having to cope with. There's a dark side to the city, an out-of-control street trade in hard drugs and ever more violent drug trafficking. You might find parts of Rajesh Mirchandani's investigation disturbing.
Vancouver has ambition undampened by the rain. Olympic organisers have spent nearly $2 billion to show off this confident, modern metropolis. But in the shadow of the gleaming stadia, there's another Vancouver no one's proud of. This is the downtown east side. On every corner are deals being done. Something is for sale. A tough neighbourhood with one of the worst drug problems in North America. Within 20 minutes, we found Shirley, smoking crack behind a dumpster.
It's easier to buy dope than it is to buy a pack of cigarettes. It's easier to buy a piece of rock.
That's the heroin?
She started to prepare something called a speedball, heroin mixed with cocaine. She said she wanted us to film the reality of addiction. There are many like Shirley in the downtown east side. They're the bottom rung of a dangerous food chain. Dozens have been killed in Vancouver's drug wars, caught up in turf battles between heavily armed gangs. More than 100 groups fight over a lucrative trade, but this is a war that reaches far beyond the city limits. An hour away along the border with the US lies Abbotsford. Quiet, middle-class suburbia, at least it used to be. At this one school, 4 students died in as many months, caught in the crossfire of the drug gangs.
It's still pretty hard to deal with the fact that we've lost so many people and...
But Abbotsford has been rocked by a spate of drug-related killings.
It was a peaceful town, you know, you could walk around at 11 at night, not be scared of anything, you know, and then all of a sudden all this, it was like a big pandemic.
Against this explosion of violence, police stay visible. Constable Marcus Senft pulls over a flashy car.
Hey, how's it going? What's going on?
He says the driver deals drugs. Tonight he's obeying the law, but the officer wants him to know police are watching.
Yeah, there's definitely some fear in this neighborhood.
Police have caught some of the big players, but this once quiet town is a major international supply route. Locally grown marijuana goes south to Mexico and America. Cocaine and weapons come north.
Along here is basically, right there is the United States. So there is actually a marker right there.
So beyond the marker is America?
Yes.
America and Canada share one of the longest land borders in the world. Right here, this ditch is it, and this signpost, the only indication. Getting in illegally is as simple as jumping from that road to this. There are patrols and electronic surveillance, but this porous frontier is now a front line too. Canada's authorities are dealing with the fallout from a war on drugs launched by the Mexican government.
Everything is global now. When the war started, the cartels were too busy fighting the Mexican government, which caused a breakdown in the distribution lines. So people weren't getting their drugs, and so there would be sort of territorial takeovers, rip-offs, a variety of things that cause tension. And I think if you look at the time in which this disruption occurred in Mexico and the disruption that occurred here, you can see the correlation between the two.
And against this backdrop, Vancouver's cleaning up and getting ready. And local dignitaries are proud to unveil Olympic projects, while insisting the Games will help everyone.
We're hosting the world here. We're not going to hide these problems. We need to solve them. And I think that kind of scrutiny actually puts more pressure on us to fix these problems sooner than later.
There has been some regeneration, but they call this Canada's poorest postal code. Its problems will continue long after the Olympic spirit leaves the city. Rajesh Mirchandani, BBC News in Vancouver.